Is that actually Bone of Your Elders?
I don't know.
Is that what it's in the world?
I don't know what any of these things are, other than the fact that they are definitely bones.
Look at all the bones.
But I don't know what creatures were living here that were this big that no longer exist.
Welcome back to Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yep. Ooh, we found our first spirit tree. What ability do you think I'm gonna get, Rob?
Double jump. That's usually like the first thing you get in games like side-scrolly Metroidy things.
Well,
Dash.
Think more basic than that.
A life point.
No.
A save point.
No.
A glass of water. Did you get dead?
Crippling depression. Nope.
You got anxiety.
Backstory.
Naru and Gummo sought through the night.
That definitely looks like a Miyazaki character, just like the white face on a black, like kind of pudgy, pear-shaped creature.
Yeah, something cuddly.
Yeah.
Abu?
I'd definitely like to get some Ori artwork for my place at some point.
You heard it here first. Send that in to P.O. Box Rob.
That'd be funny if there was actually a P.O. box with your name on it.
My P.O. Box. Did you get lemur powers?
Yeah, I got the Howler and the Shrieker. Their sexual position.
I don't doubt that, but I do doubt you got them for the game.
Yeah.
You got a Schwad!
Yeah. So yeah, I was telling you, it was the most basic ability.
You got a
An attack.
Schmam Schmear.
Yeah, I did. Now use the light. We want to see. Decapitate one of their friends.
Do you have fans? Ori has fans in the forest.
I remember how to equip stuff in this. Which button? What? Oh, there. There we go.
Oh, cool.
The cool thing about the sword, I mean, it's no little spirit light shooty thing, but it's pretty quick. And while you're attacking with it, you kind of like hover in midair. For
Yeah, you get the floaties with it.
It makes it easy to control his movement.
Were there life bars in the previous game? I don't think there were. I don't remember there being.
There were, but they only activated once you hit something. They weren't like ever present or static.
Dynamic. Dude, I hate that your battle cry is pickles.
Well, do you remember where it came from originally?
No.
All right.
What even are you talking about? It came from your brain.
No, it came from Scrubs. You remember the dude has dementia, and he's like pickles.
No, I don't remember that at all.
It was a pretty classic episode of like an old dude in the nursing home.
Fucking love that show.
And he looked like what my grandpa or what I would look like, you know, at his age. So I was like, that's totally gonna be
so
me.
you in 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I got an ability, which
You got ability points?
I can equip. It's called
You got a magnet.
So now things will float towards me, which makes it easier to collect stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to stop everywhere and get it every cranny.
Yep. It only applies to the drops, though. It doesn't apply to, like, hidden secret stuff.
Yeah, like, you can't pick up keys with it. Shit.
Right.
My keys!
That would be pretty OP. I got a Schwad now.
The light listens to you.
Oh, they're Mokies, not lemurs.
When I drove up to Niagara Falls with my father in October for his 80th birthday present, I literally downloaded the OST of Ori and the Blind Forest and this game, and it's
for the road trip.
Yeah, and it worked out perfectly because it's about 8 hours of music, and it's like a 7-hour and 40-minute drive.
Did you like park at the hotel and that soundtrack like just ended?
yeah, pretty much.
I love it when that happens. Like I'm driving home from work and like a death metal song, just like the last beat stops when I turn my car off.
Yeah.
Oh, that just makes me happy.
It's funny because I've gotten to this like rhythm now where if I'm listening to a song in my car that I really like, and I get to my destination, I'll wait to shut off the car until I finish listening to it, the end of it.
The best part about doing that is that, especially if you don't listen to music in like your like if you're going to a doctor's appointment and you don't listen to music while you're in the waiting room,
Yeah.
or if you're going to work and you don't listen to music while you're working, that means that the next time you get in your car, you roll the ignition over,
Yeah.
it starts you off on a fresh track.
Yeah, exactly. I think it also may be just a little OCD, and I like to finish what I start. And I'm same way with music.
Dude, I'm terrible at finishing things that I start. Like,
Well,
video games on the top of that list.
how many games would you say you started and not finished that are like currently on your list of things that you actually do want to finish?
Many.
Okay.
On the top of that list is probably Death Stranding.
Okay.
I don't think I've touched that since the holidays rolled around, simply because, you know, I got Cyberpunk, which I started that and I'm in the middle of.
Yeah.
But that game is fucking broken. What else did I start playing? Oh, I played out all of Half-Life Alyx, which,
That's true.
well, holy crap, that game was great. I couldn't put it down.
How long would you say that took you?
I don't
from start
know.
to finish.
I couldn't even really guess, because it felt like that game went by really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I would say in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
Just guessing. I could be really way off though.
Can't remember how I.
What else did I get? Oh, I got Monster Hunter Rise yesterday.
Okay.
I'm a whole bunch of hours into that. And that
Does that game have like a actual completion, or is it just kind of like an infinite grind?
There's a story to all the Monster Hunters, and there's definitely an end to the story
Mhm.
for that game. But I mean, you can keep playing it and grind and get better gear,
Right.
make your hunter stronger.
But that's my point. There's like no.
Like once the credits roll, you could just re-roll that
Okay.
save file.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing else here, so.
You can like, if you really wanted to like 100% a Monster Hunter game, you could like collect all the gear and make all of the armors and all of the weapons.
Okay.
But I don't know what the point would be.
Right.
What else did I get? What else have I been playing?
Have you put Hades aside for now? Because I feel like we haven't talked about
Yeah.
that in a while.
I
and
put
haven't
Hades
played it.
aside because I finished the story component of the game. And the only reason I kept on playing it is because I wanted to do like the challenges in the game.
Yeah. I got to, I think, heat level 12 or 13, and it just like, at that point, it became more of a slog because every like enemy had like armor.
Mm-hmm.
There were like
Yeah.
twice as many enemies on the screen. I was like more susceptible to damage, so I don't know. AJ's gotten to like the I think the last heat level, but
Are you kidding me? That's nuts.
yeah.
Good for him. Once heat became a thing in that game, I started to lose interest because it stopped being as fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to do all the heat challenges,
Mm-hmm.
but I found that the game became more frustrating than it was worth to continue playing.
Yeah.
And since I already finished the story component, which I was really interested in, I knew I didn't have any more characters to meet,
Mm-hmm.
so all of the inspiration to keep going was kind of lost.
Gotcha.
I knew the only thing to look forward to was unlocking like more weapon enhancements and other skills. And I already had all the skills I needed to finish the story of the game, so that was it for me.
I need to go down. Oh, that's a.
Go down there.
This is why playing distracted, I play so much worse because I like forget things that are super obvious. Not to mention, I've realized in the past year, you know, since the pandemic that we're not allowed to talk about started,
Why are we not allowed to talk about it?
because even though we're not
It's real life.
monetized, yeah, even though we're not monetized, if at some point we do become monetized, we're not allowed to talk about it. I guess.
We aren't?
Are we?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about whatever fuck I want.
All right. Well, in that case, since the pandemic, my focus has diminished drastically. Like, I feel like I'm so absent-minded and
Oh, just in general. I thought
Distracted.
you meant like for
Yeah.
like reading, watching TV.
well, everything. I was talking about this with a friend the other day. I was like, when the lockdown first started, I was like, Well, on the plus side, I'm gonna get so much reading done, and then I never picked up a book in the last year, which is kind of depressing. But it's kind of where I'm at right now because I haven't had the focus to be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and read through a few chapters of this.
I mean, that's one of the things people always tell themselves is like, if I had the time, I would do all these things. And like now, a lot of people have a lot of free time. A lot of people don't have jobs now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If you did have like the money and time to do whatever you wanted to do, you'd still be really lazy about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's just human nature. I stopped being down on myself. Like I always you always used to anyway, get really down on myself for not like completing the projects. Like I'll leave episodes to edit for months on end, as long as I have some like in-hour queue to release.
Right.
And I used to get really down on myself. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you said before. It's like we're not monetized. I'm like, we're not monetized because we're not trying.
True.
I mean, our biggest fan is David, and he fucking rocks. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He never misses a tweet, never misses an episode. He's always like favoriting whatever, and like that's one of the happiest things that I see like on Twitter. Like the little heart thing comes up. It's like, oh, David saw your thing, and maybe he'll leave a comment. I'm like, thanks, man, David, you're the best. We recently we got up to like 50 subscribers somehow.
Really?
I don't know how the fuck that happened. If you're a subscriber, fucking thank you. So like the YouTube analytics that shows me like whenever I log into our channel and I post a new video, it shows me like whatever updates happened in like our community. Like we have a community. I think since last November we went from like 47 to 50.
Okay.
I mean, which for us that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because we don't promote anything. We have the Twitter and that's pretty much it. Every now and then I'll throw something on Reddit. And I expect nothing to come from there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw 50, and I was like, "How the fuck did this happen?" And it's like your view count went up like a couple hundred. I was like, "Who's watching our stuff?"
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
All right. So what ability do you think I'm gonna get from this?
Oh, we're up to another ability already?
Yeah.
Double jump.
Let's see.
Is it a shield?
What's behind curtain door number 1?
You unlocked PTSD.
Double jump, you were right.
Aw.
Actually, double jump is one of my favorite abilities in any game.
If I had double jump in real life, I would probably still never use it.
If I had double jump in real life, I would never die from a fall. Like, imagine you could jump out of a plane and then, like, 3 feet before the ground, you could double jump. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah, because you would be able to do that. You would get on a plane to Disney World and be like,
peace.
I'm going to skip the airport, guys. Just going to open up the door here and grab my backpack. See you all. See you chumps at Disney World. But knowing you're so distracted, you'd miss that jump.
Oh, yeah.
Some idiot fell out of a plane.
I was thinking about this the other day, and then
Why are thorns purple?
It's something that I feel like we should have played at this point, but haven't.
What's that?
Which is the game of, if you had any superpower, what superpower would you have?
We must have played that game at some point on the channel.
I don't think we've talked about it on the channel. We might have talked about it in our real lives, but I don't think we've ever incorporated it into our discussion on.
I think you need to put a limit on that, because if you ask somebody that and they say, oh, I want, I used to want like Green Lantern's power and like be able to manifest objects just using my imagination. And then I thought, like, well, if we're going with like superheroes from like comic books and stuff, like Thanos had the gauntlet and he could change reality into whatever he wanted it to be.
Right.
And you could make up whatever you want at that point.
Yeah.
So I think you have to like give me a limitation.
All right, so your power, it could only be one power at a time. So like you couldn't have like it's like making a wish from a genie. Like you'd only wish for one thing.
But I could switch on and off at will with another power?
So that's where I'm kind of going with it. Is like I would want the power to be able to manifest any power, but I would have to switch them out, almost like you're switching out from an inventory system.
Then like you could like switch on to like oh, now I have the power of a god.
Right. I mean, True. But that was kind of
It's
my
like
way
a
of working
cop-out.
around it.
My limitation was like, all right, you have to pick from like these 4 predisposed powers, like super strength, super speed, flight, invisibility,
I would
mind control, telekinesis,
I would definitely want invulnerability.
invulnerability.
Because invulnerability encapsulates like injury, illness,
You never get
pain,
sick.
like all that stuff.
Can never break a bone.
Which, in my opinion, that allows you to be that ability by itself allows you to experiment more and figure out what works and what doesn't, which could be useful in learning and like being able to do other stuff.
So like you can't like get a paper cut anymore, or you could take a punch and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but like it would also allow you to explore areas you couldn't normally get to, like walking through fire, you being invulnerable, or
Right.
stuff of that nature.
Get shot by a tank and it'd be like nothing.
Yeah. Invisibility, I feel like, would work against you in some degree unless you had invulnerability, because if you're invisible, like, let's just say you're not walking across the street and forget that you're invisible, and then, like, a car runs you over and you're just dead.
Well,
You've accomplished nothing.
If you're invisible, like, you'd still have to wear clothes. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to go out in the world and not
But then
wear
that
clothes
defeats
because
the
you'd be
purpose of
fucking
being-
freezing.
That defeats the purpose of being invisible at that point, too, like, if you're thinking of it that way. So, it just seems like a power that doesn't really serve a purpose.
It's like a cop-out. Like,
Yeah.
you could have invulnerability, too, and be like, what was I just going to think? Like, you could still be, like, really uncomfortable, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're invulnerable, does that mean, like, every night you sleep and you don't sleep stupid?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've woken up with a crink in your neck.
Yeah.
Are you invulnerable to that?
Right. That's kind of my point.
That's a really good argument for invulnerability. You're not wrong. And like, what can you do with invisibility outside of like stuff you're not supposed to like morally do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna walk into a bank vault and take all the money or something like that, or
Or be a perv like the
Yeah.
guy in The Boys.
do the whole like invisible man thing and go into the girls' locker room, or. But like, that's the other problem with invisibility. If like you're walking around naked all the time, you are super fucking vulnerable.
Yeah, I know. Your balls and dick are exposed all the time.
But not just that. I mean, like, you're gonna be cold.
Yeah.
You're just flat out like, you don't know how bad the weather is until you're naked outside.
Right.
Like,
I know.
it's way more intense than you would think.
And the same thing with, like, again, pretty much any power, any superpower you want to have has to be coupled with some level of invulnerability, because if you had the ability to fly, well, guess what? You can only fly up to a certain distance.
Before you freeze to death
Yeah.
or like lose all of the air.
Right, exactly. So it's like, you're kind of limited by your mortality at a certain point.
Like, if you can fly, you better know how to land.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, always watch where you're going.
Right. Okay, so I think, do I have both keystones?
Teleporting would be
paying
cool,
attention.
but I think you would have to be extremely careful with it.
Right, like what's to say you couldn't teleport and get stuck inside a wall, and then can you teleport out of the wall once you're stuck in it, or are you just stuck there forever?
Or like, if you teleport into a wall, does it like fuck up your entire circulatory system?
Yeah. Do you now have
Does
cement
your-
for brains?
Does your brain immediately stop working because now it's cement?
Right. I got one of them. I think the other one's up.
What's up with all the bones, man?
Look at all the bones! There's great big teeth.
It's just a little. But is that key stuff?
Yep. For the door.
Don't go in the purple stuff.
Nope.
The purple drink.
Purple drank. Not good for you.
It's just sugar water.
fuck.
Oh no! Oh.
Thankfully, it's not an insta-death.
I thought it was. I guess it's not spikes. It's good to know that every bad thing that can hurt you is just purple or green.
Yeah. I mean, purple, other than with certain flowers, purple doesn't show up in nature all that often.
Yeah, a lot of flowers are purple. Or violet.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
Is there a purple fruit? There aren't many like a
Plums
sea.
are sort of purplish. I guess.
Yeah, plum. But they're more plum color.
Yeah,
I know a lot of sea slugs are purple.
that's true.
I guess that's about it. There's not like a purple deer.
Nope.
So where are we going next? Did you finish this area already? Now that you got the key thingy? Because it looks like that just wraps around now.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, mainly we just had to explore, collect a couple items.
Secrets. Do you want to do more exploring next time?
Sure.
Okay, let's
More
do
exploring
exploring.
on Ori.
Exploring on the Ori.
Okay.
Goodbye. Boy.
You getting sweaty?